Today I'm going to talk about a question I got last week from a client. We were working on a new strategy for her business, a new marketing strategy that's more focused, streamlined, and actually manageable for her one-woman show. And in the middle of it, I must have said something around the lines of organic marketing versus ads. And she asked, does organic marketing actually work anymore? And I don't know if I've truly ever gotten this question directly. Let me know if you've thought this question. Does organic marketing actually work? She specifically asked, does organic marketing actually work anymore, right? And I was really excited when she asked because it's a really important question. Does organic marketing actually work? I've realized this is a question we're all asking ourselves every single day or quite often, but maybe afraid to admit it out loud. Does organic marketing actually work? Could also be, is what I'm doing actually going to work? It's a scary question to ask out loud in ourselves, right? We're very much not super willing to admit that out loud or to others because we're afraid it's going to give off this illusion that we don't know what we're doing. Well, newsflash, most of us are flailing through life the best that we can. And to be perfectly honest, it's fine if you don't know what you're doing, especially in marketing. I'm going to tell you it's fine because it's the norm, right? The reason why it's fine is because that's what help is for. Asking for help is hard. Why is it hard? Because we feel like we should have it all together because it looks like everyone else does. And I think all of this is amplified and becomes more frustrating and harder to wrap our heads around because of social media, right? Because we're engaging in organic marketing all the time, especially as business owners. If we're spending time doing marketing on our business on social media, in emails, in blogs, in making videos, and participating in activities, it's easy for us not to recognize that payoff, especially in the short term. But also to get this impression and idea that everyone else is killing it and we're just not getting it for whatever reason, right? But that's not the case. I want to tell you now that's not the case. People in my DM or in my DMs and everywhere whenever I meet them or they're finding me, oh, you're killing it. You're killing it. I must be knocking it out of the park every time with everything that I do. And I am not. Let's be truthful here. I am not. These things can be a struggle, are things that I struggle with as well. I do struggle with them. Nothing about running a business is effortless. So with that being said, does organic marketing actually work? It does. Okay, end of live, right? That's it. That's all you came for. No, let's talk about why. Organic marketing works because it showcases authenticity, right? I know that's a big word we hear a lot, but it really does matter to the people who are buying from you, that you're an honest and genuine person with purpose or a business with purpose. None of us want to be spending money or time with companies that just don't feel good to us anymore. That's why people struggle sometimes with supporting Amazon, right? It's hard to get off that train of convenience. And yeah, I still use Amazon, but I think it a lot more critically before I go on there to shop. Can I find this locally somewhere first? I think about that a lot more than I did before. I'm not trying to use Amazon as this catch-all or whatever of evil or whatever, but their methods and what they do come into question a lot for us, right? We're a little more skeptical and curious about who we're buying from. If you're just using ads in your business and not focusing on truly cultivating relationships that allow you to convince people that you're real and authentic, you're going to have a much harder time making sales. How many times do you see an ad for something online, especially on social media, and you click through to it and you either land on a website or another social media page and it just looks a little off, right? It's either empty, you can't find really what they're about, it looks almost too good to be true, and you start Googling them and it looks like a front. It doesn't take you more than 5 minutes of doing that to figure out and convince yourself, no, I'm not going to buy from them. Moving on. This is why throwing money at ads as a small business, again, you're not Amazon, you're not Target, you're not Walmart, that throwing money at ads like this has a huge potential backfire if you have not built up that organic presence first. Okay? Second point, organic marketing is cost effective. It can be little to no physical money. Usually, and if you're doing it on your own, right? You may spend money on tools that might help marketing easier, schedulers, video editors, graphic design platforms, whatever, right? Or maybe you spend money on outsourcing this task, the marketing task, to someone. But for the most part, the financial costs are low. Where the costs are high are in your time. It takes time. Again, most of you that are watching, I know are not outsourcing this, right? So it is costing you time, and time is money. And this is the big one where people get frustrated and then start asking themselves if organic marketing actually works, because they're spending so much time marketing themselves and it's not paying off. Let me know if you feel like you're spending too much time, right? And I'm going to be super honest and blunt right now. You're probably wasting a lot of time doing things that are not necessary or that are actually going to help you grow in the way you want to. How do I know that? Because I've done that. When I started in this realm almost 10 years ago now, I've been doing marketing for musicians and music schools for a long time. I decided to narrow down and focus on what I offer as just website help, designing it, building it, that stuff. Because I found that a lot of people need help making websites for their business. And then I ran into the next problem. When my customers were getting these beautiful websites, they weren't getting any traffic because they didn't understand how to market and send people to the website. So then I started diving into, okay, how do we do that now? And it's super, super easy to get caught up in feeling like you have to be doing all the different things in order to bring that traffic to what you're doing. And the reason why we think that is, there's a few reasons, but one I want to highlight is because oftentimes the people we learn these marketing techniques from or are digesting information about marketing or how to run a business are bigger people. Think of your Jenna Kutchers, your Amy Porterfields, your James Wedmores, whatever, all your business gurus that are teaching you certain things and you're learning, but in the background, what's happening subconsciously is you're taking in all the ways that you're able to meet these touch points with them. Maybe you listen to a podcast. Then you signed in for an opt-in on their website. Then maybe you bought a course. Now you're seeing ads. Then you got a digital download, right? Then maybe they have a group. Now there's a mastermind they offer. Or there's a special flash sale. Now you're on their email list. Oh, look, there's YouTube videos. Now they're on TikTok, right? Do you think as one human, I want you to think, do you think as one human that they are doing all of that? Hell fucking no, they are not. They have a team. They have people who execute these things for them. They produce larger pieces of content, and all their little minions go out and distribute that in 800 billion ways. And I know to a certain extent you're like, yes, Richelli, I understand that, right? But subconsciously what happens is that we think that where we're at, we're supposed to also be doing all the things in order to get to that level of big, right? Or the level that we want to get to. It's just not true, okay? You do not have to be in all the places. You do not have to be doing all the things. You may have a business that is similar to someone you admire, and this is the fucking truth. You don't necessarily even need to be marketing yourself the same way that they are to get and reach the results that you're trying to get to, even if they're the same type of results, right? What you need to be doing is whatever process, plan, and strategy is going to be working best for you. Again, I know that almost all of you watching are a one-person show for the most part, right? Most of the things that you're learning about with marketing or digesting about marketing are being taught to you by people who have teams who execute that shit for them. And I know they teach you simple concepts, and I'm not saying that stuff is not valuable. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is you need to critically think as if that generic approach is actually going to work for you. And is that what they actually did, right? What happens is when we digest all that and we take too much time trying to do all the things, we get overwhelmed. It's feeling like too much. And then you're going to maybe stick with something for a little while, and then you're going to get off track and frustrated with yourself that you got off track. And then feeling shitty about it all and not wanting to do anything because you're like, this doesn't work. How long do I have to keep doing this, right? For this to work? That's what this feels like. Time is money. I want you to remember that. And it's important to spend your time wisely, not just because of the financial payoff for your business, but the mental payoff of understanding that you're actually spending time in the right places, doing the right things in ways that actually work for you. Because that is the only way that you're going to get this marketing habit to really stick. It's the only way that you're going to get to a point where you feel comfortable outsourcing it and confident that what you've outsourced can actually grow and scale so that you can do the things you want to do, be in the places you want to be, and feel really good about that. My third point is that organic marketing works better than ads. I said it. That's an aggressive opinion that I have. And I know a lot of marketers and advertisers or experts can disagree with me on that, but the power that organic engagement has over a process of when you are feeling sold to for the purpose of just being sold to is transformational. Should you use ads as a small business? Sure. They can absolutely work, especially in a digital space, or especially in the digital space. You need to be very clear. You need to have a very clear understanding of guidelines. You need to have a very thorough knowledge of what type of ad you should be putting out there based on what you're trying to sell. You need to have, you need to be incredible at writing copy or have incredible copy. You need to have a pretty stellar visual, and be honest, at this point, it probably needs to be a video. You need to have a laser focused idea about every little detail of who you're trying to target, not just women 18 to 45 in a certain area. You need to know a lot more about your people than that. You need to have strict goals and metrics and KPIs that you can track and adjust ad spend quickly with so that it pays off. And truthfully, you need to be ready to put down money, quite a bit of money, potentially to get no return on that money, and then to try again until it works. That's if you do it on your own. If you hire someone to help you with ads, you need to be damn sure they know what they're doing and that they have results to back it up and that those results are recent. I cannot stress that enough. Ad details and the ad world changes just as fast as the marketing world. So someone who has brought in millions from ads and even in just early 2019, but can't show you results of success since then, you need to rethink that. Okay, there are other ways to tackle ads though as well that aren't as stressful as everything I just went over, because I know it's a lot. Promoting pins are pretty easy on Pinterest. Google ads for specific services that you can target, like a near me type of ad, isn't as complicated, but that's about it. There's not a lot of straightforward ways to tackle an ad that are going to get you the results that they used to, and the way that we think subconsciously is now how people are only getting results, okay? And when you add up all the authenticity part, the time part, the money part, and then you're putting down money on an ad, and you don't have all those ducks in a row yet, how is it going to help? What do you have to lose by just being organic about what you're doing? If you're already going to risk time and money with ad spend with the same level of no guarantee that it'll work, but you do know that your ability to encourage, promote, sell, share, educate, if you're confident in that, you do that first. Get good at that first. Build your cheerleaders up first. They give you the social proof that everyone wants to find when you start pushing out those ads. If you don't have that social proof as visible as people really want it to be, then you're going to be struggling more. Ad spend does work. It can work and it absolutely can pay off for you. But those of you who are watching this, if you're already questioning if organic marketing works, if that's what you're asking yourself, Don't spend money on ads when you haven't figured out your own process for free marketing, okay? If you're watching this and what I can tell at the minimum is that you're not quite sure your marketing's working, and let me know if I'm right? Put in the comments, are you questioning your marketing? Because if you're questioning if your marketing is actually working, if what you're actually doing, if it's doing what it's supposed to do, then if that's a question that keeps going through your head, then your marketing is not working. You shouldn't be questioning if your marketing is working. You should feel confident about the efforts that you're putting into this world day in and day out, that it's working, that your efforts are paying off, that you understand what it takes, the time it takes, that what you're actually doing it in the way that you need to make it work. I don't want you to question that. So if you are questioning that, then it's not working. Because you wouldn't be questioning it if it was. You would be getting clients and customers at the rate you anticipated getting them, and you wouldn't be questioning it. So if you spent a lot of your time learning how to market your business solely from free content, downloads, podcasts, hell, even I put out a lot of content out there, and I have a lot of videos, especially here inside the Be Seen Society, which are extremely value-packed and can help you a lot. But truthfully, if you have not ever had someone take a look at what you're doing as an expert and tell you what you need to do to get the job done right, and if you're questioning if what you're doing is actually worthwhile, then it's time. It's time to ask. I encourage you to reach out and ask for that help. The reason why I focus on marketing strategy, and specifically organic marketing strategy, and that it works for my clients, is that when we're able to sit down and build something that's tailored and custom, is because of exactly that. It's built out for you, not just what's best for your industry or your type of business. It's important to also build a process that's best for you, something that you can feel good about executing and get behind. There's not one way to do anything. There's not one strategy that I've ever built out that looks exactly the same as someone else's. In fact, the people that I'm able to build strategy for, and they show up and really give me the whole picture, the whole idea, all the goals, let me into who they are, those are the strategies that work the best, the fastest, and feel so fucking authentic. Selling is insanely easy for them. So examples, with Veronica of Venture Beta, we built everything in 3 months, everything from the ground up, the programs, the processes, the website, the email list, the engagement campaigns, the topic buckets, the platforms, all of it. And the strategies even shifted because of, again, the pandemic is real. We got to shift things. She has not spent a dime on any ad. She's doing this full time when it wasn't something she considered doing full time just before COVID. With Lindsay of Digital Cinderella, she sells digital prints. When we set up her Pinterest and a process for her to tackle that and manage it with her other hustles, because she's got other things going on, it became the way everyone found her and sales were rolling in while she was sleeping. I've focused a lot with clients on email marketing. With one specifically, we put all of our energy into this email list, right? Into a specific process for email marketing. And signups of people who were dying to get on this list from Cultivate, right? Their coffee brew shop, doubled in 1 month from 500 to 1,200, more than doubled. And open rates went from 25% to 70% because the value and energy inside these emails were so good. And for so many of my other clients, it was honestly about ditching a lot of the things that weren't working for them, that weren't feeling good, and getting hyper focused on the things that will work and feel good. And it's that easy. No strategies are the same. None of the processes and tactics are going to be the same. But the reason why they work for people is because that's what they needed. You may need something else, something custom, something specific, something that represents you. Organic marketing will always work. Always. It always has. It evolves, and it can become something we feel is a heavy burden to live this entrepreneurial life that we want. As a business owner, you have to be willing to adjust and evolve as often as necessary as you need to. What worked for you last year or even earlier this year and maybe isn't feeling so great now is telling me that it doesn't work for you now. So you got to adjust. If you want to survive, you got to adjust. But let me hold that burden for you. Let me hold the burden of being the gatekeeper of all the things and all the options that you have. I have them here with me. They're always with me. All the options, all the ways. You don't need to hold them all. You just need the ones that work for you. And I'll give you those. Take this one and that one. And then you don't need to worry about the rest of them. I'll hold them for you. And if you want more later, we can do that. But you don't need to hold all these things. Organic marketing will work for you. It should be working for you. And it is guaranteed to give you the results that you want in your business. All you need is the right plan. So let's do that. Okay, let's put this plan in place. I want to help you with this. This is everything that I do in life. And we can literally start doing this today.